Yes, people, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Football Philosophy Podcast. And today we have a really late one for you guys. But what a game we just watched right now. France knocked out of the Euros. And with me today, as always, is Trey. Yours truly, Trey. What are you saying, bro? You good?
I'm good, man. What you saying? What you say? We got Nathan Best here. You know what? It's been a crazy day of football. What you saying? What you saying, Nathan?
Well, I'll echo Sir Alex Ferguson's comments after the treble win in '99. You know, football, bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? You can't. I generally can't believe a few months back, some Spanish tax businessman said that 18 and 24-year-olds won't be watching this game. And the fact that people would have stopped watching after 60 minutes. I mean, that just proves right there that the beautiful game is still a beautiful game. It's still
Exactly. I mean, both games were just amazing, tremendous games. But if we just start with the France one, oh man, the goals, the way it was scored, the beauty of it, and then you see all the way the game going to the fight to the penalties, and then I mean, I don't even know where to start from. Trey, what can we say about this game? It had everything.
You know what? This game had everything. This game had great. It had passion. It had entertainment. It had excitement. It had it all, man. And I'm not gonna lie. I was happy to see it. Obviously, France, for me, coming into this game, they looked like they were in second gear still, man, for a bit. It was only until
Uh,
they woke up, after the penalty save, that's when
yeah,
obviously they stepped up the level and they were 3-1. But then that's when they put their foot off the pedal. They started getting complacent again. And then Switzerland, boy, gotta give them credit, man. That's what you call a proper fight back, man. That is a proper fight back, and you gotta give them credit, man.
Nathan, a lot of people were saying France, they got the know-how, they got the experience, they have so many great players in Mbappe, Benzema, Griezmann, Pogba, and everybody was saying, come the knockout stages, you will see these guys really stepping it up, and it was just a matter of time. So you see them coming up against Switzerland. I think they might have taken this for granted. The arrogance of this team is the one thing that I don't like about the French team. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm,
That's why
mm.
I was also happy to see the Dutch team being knocked out. So, Nathan, do you think like they were too arrogant in their approach, or even during the game with even the way they were celebrating the goals?
I don't know, because you I think there's always a fine line between arrogance and actually showing off your ability. It's like if you show off your ability, you get labelled as arrogant, but then if you don't show off your ability, you get classed as lazy and sort of a non-technical player. I think throughout the game though, it was because bearing in mind I couldn't watch the first half because also I don't know if you saw ITV Hub was absolutely abysmal, so I missed the entire first half
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it was stuck in a Ricardo Rodriguez corner from the third minute, and I was like,
yeah,
I know there's a lot of planning that goes into set pieces, but that was a bit too long. Do you know what I mean? So I think what really came down to us is sort of Switzerland's. You can say a lot about France's arrogance and stuff like that, but I think Switzerland's performance in general was just brilliant to see, because even when France scored those two quick-fire goals and even the third goal, which is a wonderful finish from Pogba from about 25 yards out, they still didn't let their heads drop. Many teams in that situation would go, okay, right, you've got the better players, we know where we're beaten here, sort of thing. But Switzerland, they carried on.
Even before they scored the second goal, when Pogba scored the third goal, they had a goal disallowed, right? If I remember correctly.
I think it was either then or just after. I think it was either just before France's second or just after France's second. I think it was in between.
Yeah, and
mm.
they didn't give up. Like normally, you expect a team to just drop their heads, and yeah, you're right. The resilience that they've shown is why they're now in the quarterfinals. What an opportunity that they have here.
Well, not only that, what an opportunity England have. Like, because
Be careful though.
no. I'm just saying.
Croatia 2018
I like
comes to mind.
because here's the thing. I know for a fact I'm not the only one who watched that in purely England's perspective. I think the reason why people wanted Switzerland to win, because like, okay, if do not quote me on this, if we manage to beat Germany,
Yeah.
The road to the final was already sort of looking
Good.
not straightforward, but more relatively easier in aspects than what it would have presented itself.
Yeah.
And now, the favourites are out, Portugal are out, Netherlands are out. This is the perfect opportunity for England to go, right, make a statement here, beat Germany, and then you can literally, because I've said that if we beat Germany but don't get to the final, it's an absolute failure.
Yep.
It's an absolute failure if we don't. But in terms of Switzerland, the one player who I want to pick out is Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka, thing is, man, I never thought I'd say that. I never thought I'd say that in my life, like me praising Granit Xhaka.
Trust me.
But people on about pulpy performances, but Xhaka was absolutely pivotal in the way Switzerland played, because he was literally the middle point of defensive attack. He was man breaking the lines with the passes, with the challenges. But yeah, credit to Switzerland. And in all honesty, when Mbappe stepped up with the game he had, I sort of sensed he was going to miss, to be honest. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, no, it's true. For Mbappe, it was a bit of a strange one because you can just see that he's low on confidence. He's frustrated because obviously he ain't got a goal, and it just seemed like things weren't working for him, man. And he was just going through one of those dips in forms where it just came at the wrong time for him. And the penalty, I knew before he was going to take it that he was going to miss.
Confident, did he?
No, he's not. He's not really confident.
Does he take a lot of penalties? I've never seen him take a penalty before.
Yeah, he does the odd time for PSG, but most cases it's Neymar taking them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is a young kid. He's a world-class talent. He's going to learn from this, I'm sure. We've seen Cristiano Ronaldo miss a penalty in a Champions League final, and he's learned from that, and he's never looked back since then. You can rely on Ronaldo. Like, you can bet your house on Ronaldo to score a penalty for you, even if it's the last minute. So he's going to learn from this. But it's not just about the penalty for Mbappe. He's had a poor, disappointing tournament. 4 games, 0 goals, no impact whatsoever. And he's not the only one. There's quite a few high-caliber players. Let's see how Harry Kane gets on tomorrow. But Mbappe, man, is for someone who scored over 40 goals. I mean, there has to be something to be said about him playing in that league, and then, maybe getting too comfortable over there. I don't know. Maybe it's time for him to move on and maybe challenge himself, show us really that he can do at a really high level. I mean, a higher level than the French league, week in, week out.
Well, here's the thing: that there was one incident in the second. I think it was in first half and second half of extra where Pogba played a bit, and you'd expect any sort of knowledgeable sort of striking ability, because Ali McCoy's pointed out straight away, you got to open yourself up with your right foot to put that in.
Oh yeah, that opportunity. Yeah.
Because listen, it's when he let it come across him, he's narrowed the angle he can actually score from, and then he's obviously going to miss. It was just basic things like that for Mbappe. They were just lacking the whole game. But like you said, he'll recover from it. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him now, because obviously he's got a year left on his deal at PSG. There's talks of Liverpool. Hope not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, unless Liverpool want to pay him about 350k a week, which they probably won't.
They're not doing that.
I can see Mbappe possibly going Real Madrid. I know that he looks like a Real Madrid player. Maybe like a long-term replacement for Benzema. Yeah, maybe sort of thing. But everything seemed. I don't think France played bad, but it was just like, I think it might be what you said earlier on. I think they may have underestimated Switzerland a bit, because obviously Switzerland only got through in the final game. Do you know what I mean? Because they got beat by Italy 3-0 or whatever it was. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, tomorrow's game is crucial, man. It's crucial.
Biggest game.
How it happens, 1-0, on goal by Hummels again. I don't care, man. I want to see tomorrow.
Yeah, no, we need to win tomorrow. Like, definitely. For me, look, I'm someone that's done it as well. What we've done is we've seen the lineup that Southgate puts up, and we complain, we say this, we say that. I think right now we should just get behind the boys. They need our support, and let's hope they get the job done, because this is Germany. I hope the boys don't let the emotion of the game take over as well. I hope they just be subjective and just, take this game full on and attack Germany. This German team is there to be attacked. So it's the right time for us to really penetrate this team.
And Nathan, you were saying earlier about England playing with three at the back. Do you think that's the best way to approach this game?
Probably, yeah, because I think against Scotland, although the team performance was just absolutely dire, there was no there was no width in that game. I felt people were just coming too narrow and stuff like that. So against Germany, it might be a case if you match them like for like, and I think you probably go Walker and Trippier on that right side of the defence, and Maguire and Shaw on the other side. You have John Stones in the middle. I think with all due respect to Rice and especially Phillips, who started well, I think he might have to just play Jordan Henderson, because I think Jordan Henderson is, he's one of the players in that team, the pivotal part of the team where he's got that big game experience as well. He's won a Champions League, he's won a Premier League. Unfortunately, but to each his own. But and for me, I'm sort of 50-50 whether to start Sancho this game, because you think he will know the German back line, well, parts of it and stuff like that. They're playing Ginter on the right side of the fence, and it's like you can get at him.
Yep.
Their defense isn't as what it used to be. You saw against Hungary, they conceded straight off kickoff.
Yep.
But I think people don't understand that this is the best chance to beat Germany, because they're in a little transition period at the minute where the likes of Cruz and that are sort of coming towards their end of years, like to Hummels. And you know what Germany are like? They're going to bring through another generation, and then it'll be like, we might look back on this and say, what a missed opportunity if we don't go through.
Yeah, right now it's the best opportunity to beat Germany. Like you said, they're coming up to an era where it's the end for certain players, like you mentioned, Toni Kroos, Hummels, a few players there that you mentioned that are coming up to the sort of latter stages of their career. So right now, England needs to do the job. That's a standard. That's a standard. It's a must win. I can't take anything else than a win tomorrow.
Yeah, and in terms of the players that are going to start, I mean, we've seen the Germans speaking about Jadon Sancho and say, like, if he's not good enough for England, we'll take him. And you just think, like, why not play Jadon Sancho? And what about Marcus Rashford? Is he injured? Is he fit? What's the situation with him?
Well, I think, this is the catch-22 here, because I didn't want Sterling starting at all, but he's the reason why we're in this position.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like a catch-22. It's like, I don't think Sterling's performances have exactly been great, but he's the reason why we're here.
Yep.
Would you start Jack Grealish?
I mean, to be honest, when Grealish played again, even in the last 10 minutes against Scotland, or however long he came on for, and the game against Czech Republic, he looked as though he's the one to really, really create, open up defence. I don't think Foden should start.
Yeah.
I think it might have been a bit too much to sort of rely on him at this stage of his career. You know what I mean? Because there's obviously a difference between playing one consistent season for Man City being at the top of your game. This is arguably his breakout season.
Yes.
And now he's been relied on to carry England. It's like, you shouldn't put that much pressure on a kid at a young age.
Yeah.
Let them naturally develop. But with Grealish, it's like he is difference maker for me in terms of England potentially, dare I say it, winning the tournament for me, because I think he's the one he's the one the German defence won't probably know that much about. If you look at the other players, and that obviously got Sterling at Manchester City, Rashford at Manchester United. These are prominent European clubs. Jack Grealish is at Aston Villa in a minute. Hopefully he stays there. I mean, but it's like, I'll play Grealish, but I think Kane, he's starting regardless. I don't see the point of dropping Kane, because I don't think Calvert-Lewin's that good. I generally don't. So yeah.
Yeah, I disagree. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin is good, but obviously I wouldn't have him over Harry Kane at the moment. Even if Harry Kane is not scoring, I'll still keep Harry Kane in this team. But I look at this England team, and if you don't have Jack Grealish in there, there's no one. Jack Grealish, he has that personality that Wayne Rooney used to have. You know what I mean? Like where I'm gonna take care of this game. I'm gonna take the charge of this game, and I'm gonna win you this game. I'm gonna take all the pressure. I'll take all the fouls, and I'll win you the game. If you take Grealish out of this team, then you're left with a team full of individuals that don't know how to gel together. You know, Phil Foden is still finding his way, but players like Jack Grealish, Jadon Sancho, they carry the ball. They create chances. They're crossing all the time. So, and they're able to understand Harry Kane. So, mate, it's for me, it's a no-brainer. Have Grealish in there, Sterling on the right, Kane in the middle, and then have Rice and Phillips in the your two midfielders. And in the wing backs, just have Luke Shaw and Reece James. I think it's that simple.
I think he plays Trippier, to be honest, because I think set pieces wise, I think he goes Trippier. I think that's one of the key reasons why, because at the World Cup it worked as well, didn't it? With obviously Trippier and free kicks. Obviously, you had Ashley Young on the other side, but Ashley Young's not getting in the squad anytime soon. But I think he goes Walker right centre back, then Trippier right wing back, because I think you've probably got a nice balance on that side. I think with Reece James, it's like I think Southgate would want a more experienced head in there. I know Reece James just won the Champions League and he played very, very well in that game. You know, compared to international tournaments, it's a different kettle of fish. Do you know what I mean? So, but one of my sort of theories was that if he were to say drop Kane, if he sees that German line is sort of aging stuff like that, he might go say Rashford up top with Sancho and Sterling either side. Really, really go after them. But then I realised who the manager was, and then I was like, okay, right, wake up, Nathan. You know, you're not actually, you're dreaming at the minute, sort of thing.
Yeah, so, playing FIFA.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I 100% agree with you, man. I just when I'm looking at this England team, I echo what both of you guys are saying. Jack Grealish needs to be in that team. If anything, I agree with you as well, Nathan, in terms of at the beginning of the tournament, I would have preferred to start Rashford over Sterling, but it's a catch-22 situation, like you said. Yeah. He's brought us up to this point, so can you drop someone that's brought us up to this point? It's a bit difficult, man. But I want to see Grealish, I want to see Sancho, I want to see these players playing. Jordan Henderson in that midfield, I think you got to play him just for the experience. And you know what? Seeing three at the back of this England team, there's potential. There's potential. We can do bits if we really attack this German team with sort of what's the best word? Just get at them, man. No excuses.
With some Nash, absolutely, like go for it.
Let's go for it. Like, let's think of. I think one of the issues that we have, as obviously English fans here, is that we keep thinking about the history. Now, this game is for the players right now to create their own history and legacy. So, if that's not enough motivation for them to go out there and get the job done, then I don't know, man. If I'm honest with you.
I mean, just quickly add as well, I think a lot of I think the last time England played Germany in a major tournament was obviously the 4-1 game in the World Cup, right? And and obviously, at least this time around, we have gone on technology. So if anything happens, you know, we can. But what I will say is, people sort of make a bit wary and stuff like that. But that Germany team back then was coming into fruition. You can see in that Germany team they were going to go up, because I think they only got beat by Spain 1-0 in the semi-final. Yeah. And at the time, that was the Spain team. You know, that was full of mad dons and stuff like that. But I think this time round, that there is a bit of, especially after tonight's result, there's a bit more anticipation and excitement about tomorrow's game, because we know that if we beat them, and then it's like the tournament now is already wide open. It becomes even wider if we beat Germany tomorrow. Do you know what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's unbelievable, man. Now, if we just come back to this France team, okay, where can you see Deschamps managing a football team? Can you see him going to a team like Juventus?
No.
Yeah.
I don't see him doing it, man.
Yeah. You think he can stay there until the World Cup?
Yeah. I reckon they'll keep him until the World Cup for sure.
Yeah, they will definitely want to keep him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think going forward for France, just to come back to this point, he needs to stop using favorite players, because you've seen the likes of Laporte literally just taking another nationality just because he wouldn't be picked for France.
Yeah.
And you look like a player. You look at a player like Theo Hernandez, who has been for me top three best left backs in the world this season. Absolutely fantastic. And he doesn't even get picked for France. And he ends up playing Rabiot at left back. So that's really poor. Yeah, I mean, for Germany, this is his last chance, right? I mean, if he if he loses to England, then that's his. I mean, it's gonna damage his legacy, right? Because the games between Germany and England, they are remembered forever. 1966 World Cup, the 5-1, even the Euros as well in '96. Now the World Cup in 2010, the ghost goal. Now, and now this game. So yeah, I mean, if he loses to England tomorrow and he goes out to England, I think that's going to do huge damage to his legacy. What do you guys think?
I don't know, because I think if you win a World Cup, I think that sort of gives you I think it gives you a sort of like a leverage, sort of say, because the interesting thing is that like you said about Deschamps stuff. Actually, would he go to a club? Did you say like Juventus or something like that?
Yeah,
because the thing is, we were speaking in the chat like during the game and stuff like that about pragmatism and stuff like that. It might suit Juve because obviously with the traditional nature of say of Italian football, it might suit the pragmatism there, because obviously that's why say maybe Mourinho's gone back, because it suits his style. But then it's like with Joachim Low, I don't know where he will like end up, because obviously the man who's taken over is is Hansi Flick, who's obviously the year before he won the treble with Bayern Munich. And you'll probably think that, after him, if he does well, it would probably be Nagelsmann taking over the Germany job, or hopefully Klopp, so he leaves Liverpool. But, it's with Joachim Low, it's like, I don't think he's probably suited to club football. I think international management probably suits his style because it's a bit more, say, laid back, you'd say, rather than club football, because on club football, you're there every day. International management, you basically get like a free ticket to go and watch games anyway and watch players play.
Yeah.
All you do.
What I would do is, I've won the World Cup for my nation. I would just manage, I don't know, somewhere in China or Middle East or some, Latin American country, and just get the money and get that experience, and it's free travel. You get.
I think he might go to the German board. I reckon he might go on the officials and stuff like that. Sort of go higher up, like a chief, like of the German FA.
Yeah.
To like get someone like him on board. He's had experience in tournaments. He could maybe say if it doesn't work for Hansi Flick, he could be in charge of say the recruitment process for another manager coming in. You see managers do that, because obviously Sir Alex went straight up to United's board and obviously was not instrumental in getting Moyes, but it's a case of that's what some form managers do when they know it's their time. They just go upstairs and they help with the process going forward. I will say though with Joachim Low is that with him, he's shown that with international football, it takes time to build a team. Because obviously it wasn't like instant success straight away. He had like a few years worth. He didn't. I don't know what happened. Euro 20. Actually, no, Euro 2012 they got beat by Italy, didn't they, in the semi-final? Because I think Balotelli scored twice.
Yeah.
2010 they went out to Holland in the semi-finals.
Yeah,
and then
and then obviously
was it to Spain? When Carlos Puyol scored that goal,
it was Spain,
It was Spain,
yeah. But it's a case of with that he's showing that you need time to build an international team. So I think also the World Cup's going to give him leverage for a few years worth. But then I don't know what he's going to do in football after that. It's sort of a mystery at this point.
It's a case where he stayed in there too long. I think he should have left after the 2018 World Cup. He should have just.
That's what I was thinking. I think he's overdone his stay, if I'm honest with you. He's done an incredible job. I think win, lose or draw, he can hold his head high and say, look, I've done the World Cup with Germany. So he's good, man. He's good.
In terms of predictions, guys, I have to do this. We have to do this tomorrow.
Ooh.
I mean, for me, it's quite simple. I want England to win this game.
Yep.
1-0. 1-0.
Well, Maguire header, yeah. Maguire header.
Sancho score a goal, you know. You know what, yeah? As much as I love Jack Grealish, I want him to have a really, really bad game, yeah? And he doesn't get picked again, just so that City don't buy him.
Yeah, in that case, then I want Sancho to have a bad game so Dortmund don't bump the asking price up. So, you know.
Yeah, that is true.
All Southgate has to do is just keep him on the bench. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
He's the double agent for us.
That's one thing I will say though. Obviously, the Sancho deal is probably going to be done in the next couple of days. You know, I think United are getting him for a snippet price at 77 million, whatever it was quoted at. But in terms of my prediction, 2-0 England. Come on, we're going to go big. We're going to score more than one.
No, that's good. That's good. I'm going for 2-1. Going for 2-1. I think we're going to do the job. We're going to be winning 2-0, and then they're going to get a consolation.
Let's hope so.
I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm like, after that France game, I literally, you know, 3 lines was playing in my head. You know, everything was absolutely going off in my head. And then I'm just waiting for Germany to inevitably turn up and just absolutely bend us over tomorrow, which could easily happen. So
they've got it in them to do it. But look, I just feel that the players right now know it's so important, this game, for them to just build their own legacy, man. Forget about the past. Let's forget about what happened in 96. Let's forget about the previous results. And the players right now have an opportunity to just make history for themselves. And I actually heard Phil Foden saying that during an interview, man. Right now, the players just need to just get together, forget about the past, and just focus on the future and the present, which is tomorrow. And it's going to be a tremendous game.
Yeah. I just can't process the thought of Germany beating England at Wembley to knock us out.
No, that's dreadful.
It's happened before.
It's happened. I know it's happened before, but this time come around, nah.
Okay. Guys, I was involved then, so.
That's right.
You know what? Yeah, just to finish off on this, Nathan, I know how much you enjoyed Scotland being knocked out.
Yeah.
But what about the Wales game? How much did you enjoy seeing them knocked out? Or was that not like on the?
Not as satisfactory, but still quite satisfactory nonetheless, because there's a stupid narrative, right? Yeah, I'm not going to go on a bit of rant here, but there's a stupid narrative maybe spawned from like TalkSport presenters like Jim White that turns around and goes, "Oh, you should want all the home nations to do well." It's like, yes, because Wales were really upset when we got knocked out against Iceland in 2016, weren't they? When they were sending videos of themselves celebrating. Yeah. It's like this stupid.
That's the time that they made it to the semis, right?
Yeah. And it's like this. It basically is the same narrative of like when your team's in the Champions League and they get knocked out. Oh, you should want the English teams to win it.
No.
It's like I can give a toss about the English teams. I like in the 2018 final. I just happened to be half Spanish, coincidentally, because Real Madrid were in it. Do you know what I mean? It's like you know, because they faced Liverpool. But it's like no, I was pretty happy that.
If United are not winning it, everybody's going down with me. Simple as that.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand this stupid narrative about the home nation and stuff like that, because every other home nation hates us because of our, like, admittedly, we have got perceived arrogance because we have the better players, we have the better team. There's a reason why for that, right? And it's like, yeah, when Scotland went out, I found it hilarious because they celebrated their draw against us like they won the bloody thing. So I was like, right, cool.
That was cringy. That was really cringy-worthy, man.
Yeah, they were making DVDs and everything, like selling it on the thing. Oh, remember our 0-0 draw of England? It's like, well done. Like,
it was embarrassing, man.
Yeah. So let's see, guys. We'll finish it off there with Nathan is smiling about Scotland. Trey, Yeah, let's see how Lukaku gets on. That's your prediction that he's gonna be winning the Golden Boot.
Yeah,
Ronaldo,
yeah. He's been doing a job at the moment. He's been doing a job. So I'm proud. You know what? With Lukaku, I absolutely love him to bits. But it's always that little thing about him playing for Belgium instead of Congo. But that's a different subject for this day.
yeah.
I just love the fact that he's doing well.
You know. Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah. For Benzema, my prediction was that Benzema will be winning the Golden Boot. Right now he's out, so yeah. I mean, the everything's there for Lukaku to do well. He's got a favorite game. You know, come on, it's going to be really easy for them to win the next game, I think.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Italy. Yeah, Belgium playing Italy.
Belgium are playing Italy, mate.
that was like, yeah, easy game.
That's why when you said easy game, my mind was like,
no, I thought they were playing the Czech Republic.
No, they got Italy.
Denmark. They've got Denmark because if we win, we've got Ukraine or Sweden, and then whoever wins like the semi-finals of those two fixtures.
Oh,
so
wow! Lukaku against Italy, and he's playing in the Serie A.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what's going to be interesting as well?
Yeah.
Lorenzo Insigne versus Dries Mertens.
Oh, yeah. Moose is gonna love it.
He's loving that, man. Of course, he's gonna love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for tomorrow's game. I can't wait what the quarterfinal is gonna bring. Yeah. And we do another podcast tomorrow, guys. We're always gonna be here. And make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, as always. And thank you so much for joining us, Nathan. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Trey,
once again, always, as always, mate.
I enjoyed that game. I'm so happy to see France being knocked out.
You love this game, yeah?
Let's go, guys. Take care, guys.
Love it.